Have you ever felt like the whole world was betting against you? Like every voice, every circumstance was telling you to just give up and go home? Today, we're diving into a story about someone who heard all that noise and decided to turn up the volume on her own ambition instead. This is the story of a woman who, when everyone expected her to pull back, did the one thing they never saw coming. She pressed forward. It all started with an idea, a simple yet audacious goal that most people dismissed as a daydream. They'd pat her on the back and say, "That's a nice thought, but maybe aim for something a little more realistic." The experts laid out all the reasons it wouldn't work. The market was too crowded. She didn't have the right connections. The timing was all wrong. It was a symphony of doubt, and she was the solo artist they were trying to silence. The first major setback hit like a tidal wave. A crucial investor pulled out at the last minute, leaving her project hanging by a thread. The whispers started immediately. "See, we told you so. It's over. She should just cut her losses." The pressure was immense. Anyone else would have seen this as a sign to retreat, to rethink, to maybe just quit. It was the logical thing to do. Her friends and family, with the best intentions, gently suggested she take a break. They thought she'd pull back, regroup, and maybe find a safer path. But something inside her refused to yield. She looked at the wreckage of her plans, not as an ending, but as a forced renovation. Instead of despairing, she got to work. She spent sleepless nights recalibrating her strategy, calling every contact she had, and learning skills she never thought she'd need. She sold her car to keep the project afloat. She learned to code, to market, to negotiate like her life depended on it, because, in a way, her dream's life did. This wasn't just about being stubborn. It was about a profound belief in her vision. She knew that the easy path is rarely the one that leads to somewhere extraordinary. While others saw a dead end, she saw a detour that would ultimately make her stronger and smarter. She wasn't just trying to prove her doubters wrong. She was trying to prove her own belief in herself right. The next challenge came in the form of a competitor, a huge corporation that launched a similar product with a massive budget. It felt like David versus Goliath, only Goliath had a spaceship and David had a slingshot he built from scraps. Again, the chorus of "it's time to quit" grew louder. "You can't compete with that," they said. "They'll crush you." And what did she do? She doubled down. She pressed forward, not by trying to match their budget, but by outmaneuvering them with creativity and heart. She connected with her small but growing community on a personal level. She listened to their feedback and adapted her product in ways the corporate giant never could. She turned her small size from a weakness into her greatest strength, agility. Slowly, incredibly, the tide began to turn. Her persistence started to pay off. A small blog wrote about her journey. A podcast featured her story. People were drawn not just to her product, but to her unbreakable spirit. They saw someone who refused to be defined by her setbacks. They saw the passion, the grit, and the raw determination. Her story became her marketing. When everyone thought she would fold under the pressure, she leaned into it. When they thought she would run from the fight, she ran towards it. She pressed forward when every sign told her to retreat. And in the end, she didn't just reach her goal, she surpassed it in ways no one, least of all her early critics, could have ever imagined. Her story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs happen just one step beyond the point where everyone else would have stopped. It's about what you do when the world expects you to break. Do you pull back, or do you press forward? Thanks so much for watching. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of the human spirit. See you in the next one.